to what I hope could be the final episode, for this year anyways, of the Wheeling Nailers Weekly. I'm your host, Jason Avelka, and my sidekick, Andrew Grimm. What we've got here right now is something we haven't seen for a very long time. I went digging through my apparel at home, and I have my Wheeling Thunderbirds scorecard and some other, some books and different things from the last time we did this. So this is something a little fun, a little more exciting. And we're doing it from the friendly confines of the porch at WesBanco Arena, outlooking beautiful the Ohio River, Wheeling Bridge, the suspension bridge. They are nearing completion with the arena itself. They've added an entire new foyer and lots of other room, and they're doing some other great upgrades. So it's really an exciting time. Not to mention the fact that the Nailers are up 2-1.
In the Kelly Cup final.
Exactly. They're going after Kelly. Well, can't beat it. Let's dive into the series. Nailers win game 2, lose game 1. What happened in game 2 that didn't happen in game 1?
Well, they came out from the start. They were playing their game. Really, they just kind of came out from the start of game 2 and hit Allen right in the mouth. They were up 7-1 after 2, and then they took the foot off the gas. In the third period, Allen scored 5 straight goals, and that's the thing about Allen. If the Nailers get away from their game, Allen is a lot like Florida in the way that if you stop hitting them, they have the offensive tools to light it up in a hurry. Lesson learned. Nailers put together 60 minutes in game 3 the other night and got the W to take the series lead. Game 1 was really just a feeling out process. I think Allen may have figured Wheeling out or completed their feeling out process a little bit sooner. It was really the same thing in the second period when Allen pulled ahead in game 1 as the third period of game 2. It was really Wheeling just wasn't skating, they weren't hitting, and Allen had time and space to use their offensive weapons.
You find that, especially in a league like this with new opponents meeting each other, because we had some additions this year to the ECHL. Well, last year to the ECHL that it's no longer the East Coast Hockey League. I mean, it's no longer East Coast Central. It's all over. And I know Wheeling had no background with Allen. Very little background with Allen.
James Melendi and Dan O'Donohue came here at the trade deadline as part of a deal that Pittsburgh made.
Right.
They were with Rapid City, so they saw Allen this year. This is the only 2 players on Nailers roster that had seen Allen coming in. So
vice versa, anything in return? I mean, did Allen have any?
Allen has David Mikowski, who's injured, who played in Wheeling last year, and former Penguins prospect Casey Piero Zabatel, who was in Wheeling, I believe, in 2011.
Okay, there you go. So very little crossover, and we are getting the wonderful sounds of the exterior. This happened. This is no different than the other night when we did this and we heard the public address announcement. Anyways, so it's Friday night, or it's Friday afternoon. Friday night is sold out.
Yeah.
Very exciting. They tweeted that out yesterday morning, early afternoon. I saw that and almost died. I was so excited, and I, as a Nailer fan and a writer, and I looked at this and I'm like, this is what they've been waiting for so long.
23 years.
It's not just that though. I mean, and you just brought it up right before we went on. You talked about the atmosphere in the arena the last several games. It's been unlike the one night, the 2 nights that I've gone, that I've been able to cover with you have been unbelievable. This last night, you said it was unlike anything you've ever seen.
Oh, I mean, I didn't think it could get a whole lot better than Game 7 against Reading when Riley Brace netted the overtime winner to move Wheeling to the conference finals. But the other night, I mean, the end of that game, Sean Ryan from the Intelligencer sits beside me in the press box. Me and him were trying to talk to each other at the end of the game. Couldn't hear each other. It was that loud. The towels were going, and every single player that we talked to after the game mentioned it. It was unreal.
4,000 fans, and they're expecting. Now they're selling standing room tonight.
Yeah,
from what I understand,
they're down to under 200 standing room tickets. The last that I'd seen as we speak. So
if you don't have your tickets now, you better go get them and know that you're going to be standing. That's just the way it's going to be tonight. Probably the way it's going to be from this point on.
They're going pretty fast for tomorrow night too, so I wouldn't wait around. I'd get a seat while you can.
There you go. So what are your initial thoughts for tonight? What can we look for?
I think Wheeling figured out that if they play for 60 minutes and they play their game and stay out of the box, they feel like they're the better team. So I think you're going to look for them to do a lot more of the same that they did Wednesday night. Come out hitting right from the start like they did. Allen's got a lot of skilled guys that don't like to get hit. And me and Sean made the comparison that they kind of look like Reading, tentative going back to retrieve pucks. And that was in game 6 and 7 of that series. In game 3, Allen was looking tentative. So I think for Wheeling, you're just going to see them want to keep their foot on the gas pedal and keep smashing guys into the boards.
Who's in net tonight? Do we know yet?
Frankie Talzis was the first goaltender off the ice at the morning skate, and he was pretty phenomenal the other night, so I would expect to see him again.
Fairly comfortable with Frankie in that.
Really, either one of them, they've both been really good, complementing each other.
Absolutely.
And, Jeff said it's a good problem to have. Every night's a tough decision.
Absolutely. Any predictions?
For tonight?
Yeah. Let's go series first. No pressure for
series
tonight.
First?
Series first.
I would say that Wheeling's in a good spot. I mean, Allen, you can't ever count them out. Yep. They're the defending champions. They won the 2 Central Hockey League championships before that, so they've got, really their core group has 3 championships in a row. It's going to be tough to beat them. It's going to be a fight to the end. They're not going to quit, but I think you have to like where Wheeling's at, up 2-1 with these 2 games at home before it would go back to Texas if it gets that far.
Right. So, okay. So, if I'm hearing you correctly, you feel like Wheeling.
I feel like Wheeling.
Series.
Oh yeah, they can definitely win this series. I think when play's been 5-on-5 and Wheeling's played their game, Wheeling's been the better team. And if they all they have to do is continue to play their game and stay out of the penalty box, then I think it's advantage Wheeling.
And that's what I've seen thus far also. Tonight, harder. It's a harder.
Yeah,
it's harder. Any feel at all?
I think Allen is going to be a little bit desperate. They do not want to go. Desperate. They don't want to go down 3-1. They'd like to guarantee a trip back to Texas. I think the first 10 minutes of the game is going to be interesting because I think Wheeling's going to probably come out hitting, and Allen's going to want to come out and jump on him early and not get in a position where their backs are against the wall. But I also think on the flip side of that, the Nailers are going to want to put their backs to the wall. So it'll be a very interesting first period, especially the first 10 minutes, because I think both teams are going to want to come out and get on the other early.
There you have it. There you have it. Quasi, he's on the fence tonight. He's on the fence tonight. Me personally, I'm a homer. I think Wheeling's gonna win tonight. I think Wheeling's gonna win 4-2. I think I made the same prediction the last time and they won 5-2. So I feel good about that. I'm gonna stick with that number. But I do think Allen's gonna jump out fast.
On the line of predictions, I predicted the last 2 series be Wheeling in 7. I've got it right. So this time I picked Wheeling in 5. Not to get ahead of anything, but it could very well happen.
You heard it. You heard it here. Very quickly, before we end the episode, before we end the show, the big team, the team I cover normally, they're up two games to none in their own series against the San Jose Sharks. You've got the cheater, Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
Because you're not allowed to time face-offs. It's almost like you're not allowed to count cards at a poker table. Are you kidding me? Give me a break. The people that say you're not allowed to do that are the people that can't do it, and that's just the way it is. That's plain and simple. you probably haven't gotten to see everything as far as those games because they overlap, but what's your initial thoughts in the first couple of games?
I got to see all of game 1 and the end of game 2. I think when the Penguins are skating, the Penguins are faster,
right,
and the Penguins can take it to them, but I think San Jose's resilient, and they have found ways to counter that. I think it's going to be a close series. I think it's going to be very hard for Pittsburgh to win games in the Shark Tank. I think San Jose, I read earlier, is like 7-2 at home in the playoffs, which is unreal if you think about it. But I think you have to like where Pittsburgh is at, up 2-0.
Right, absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, can you imagine not to get ahead of anything, knock on wood, whatever you want to say, the possibility of both teams in an organization, 2 teams in the same organization. Really just the fact that they're both in the finals at the same time is unbelievable in itself, but you imagine the fan bases if they both are able to get it done. I mean,
absolutely, and it'll be wonderful. It'll be wonderful for the city of Pittsburgh. It'll be wonderful for the city of Wheeling.
As it is right now, all of this is wonderful for the city of Wheeling.
Absolutely, every ounce of this, and nobody's pulling harder for it than your team here at Faceoff Violation, BYST Now, sportsmonger.com, or Sportsmonger Marketing and Media LLC.com. So please come out and see him tonight. Come out and see him tomorrow night. Follow him online. You can follow Andrew on Twitter. Where?
At Andrew Grimm _.
There you go. You can follow me at Pitt Sportmonger. That's it. That's a wrap. Gorgeous Wheeling's going to close us out. And you heard it first here.